1 year after the white supremacist events of last summer, it's anything but business as usual in Charlottesville with heavy security restrictions in place.
It's just hard just to be citizens.
But people have still been out patroning businesses on the downtown mall.
We've been really busy since I've opened the doors this morning.
As a community looks to heal and move forward.
We are in this together.
NBC29 team coverage starts right now.
Live in high definition from the area's most experienced news team, this is NBC29 HD News at 6.
It's a different, I really do feel like there's a different attitude with the police.
With hundreds of officers all across Charlottesville this weekend, community activists say they're making sure everyone understands this is our town.
Hundreds of people have been coming into downtown Charlottesville as the city marks the 1-year anniversary of last year's Torch March and Unite the Right rally.
Yeah, many feared a repeat of violence that broke out on UVA grounds and in downtown streets. But so far, everything's remained peaceful. NBC29's Henry Graff is on the scene inside the secure perimeter area downtown. Hi, Henry.
Casey, Steve, good evening. Yeah, we are where all this started 1 year ago. We are now in Market Street Park. We've made our way here. There were a few people up here earlier, passersby just kind of checking in on things, getting a sense of how everything's blocked off here. You have the statue is still protected by the gates there. There's a secondary perimeter around it. And then again, this small swath of area that we're in right now is where you are able to come up here to the park, but dramatically different from this time last year if you were here. Though earlier today, a group of anti-fascists marched downtown with signs. One read, "Good night, white pride." Members entered the secure area here in downtown and walked to 4th Street. That group stopped for a moment of silence at the site of where that car attack happened that claimed the life of Heather Heyer. Also downtown today, we spoke with former Charlottesville Mayor Dave Norris and community activist Tanisha Hudson.
I think they know that where they stood last year, they kind of understand. They just have to take that heat. So I get the extra police presence and I get safety first. However, I need people to understand that we really didn't know what type of imminent threat we were up against. This was the purpose for it. I do feel like this is admitting guilt in some form or fashion, that they failed to protect us last year and they're offering us the protection that we were begging for last year.
It's the presence of so many law enforcement officials down here, helicopters flying overhead, a very heavy police presence. So it's sort of an eerie situation, but part of me is sort of had a flashback to a year ago tomorrow when I was in this very spot. This would have been very helpful. These kinds of barriers, the stronger police presence. This is what we needed last year.
Back out here live in Market Street Park in downtown Charlottesville. This is a live look right now. This is a fleet of state police troopers who are in town here guarding parts of downtown. They're obviously here in the park. This is what they've been doing pretty much all day. I mean, they've been out talking to people. They've been friendly, trying to answer questions, get people to and from where they might want to be. But again, the real sense here, at least in the park, in the immediate Market Street area, is a sense of calm here tonight.
Henry Graff live for us, kicking off our team coverage in downtown Charlottesville. Thank you, Henry.
The first arrest of the day came on the downtown mall when one man wanted to make a statement about the prohibited items.
Veterans activist John Mishka allegedly went into CVS and bought items not allowed in the restricted area. Officers arrested him outside the store and charged him with misdemeanor disorderly conduct. He's been released.
A second man from North Carolina was arrested for misdemeanor trespassing. A third was arrested for being drunk in public. Both are being held at Albemarle Charlottesville Regional Jail. Police did confiscate some restricted items at the checkpoints to enter the mall from the several hundred people who showed up today. Brass knuckles, a razor, a multi-purpose knife, and aerosol cans were among the items taken.
People accessing Charlottesville's downtown mall have mixed emotions about it. Some are frustrated. Others say they understand the need for security. NBC29's Victoria Resolo caught up with people today, and he continues our team coverage tonight. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Steve. It's definitely not your typical bustling Saturday on the mall, but it's not quite a ghost town either. Security is tight, but many others are trying to make people smile. If you want to get onto the downtown mall, you must get through security in one of only 2 spots.
It was a low-impact event coming into the downtown mall, but it's odd to have to walk a checkpoint And all the police, I mean, gosh, just bunches of them.
Some are just trying to approach the day like they would any other.
It's not important that we are here, but it seemed important to us that we come down here and try to contribute to normality. But it's not a normal day.
Security is tight with police at entryways, exit points, and in front of businesses. Some understand the precautions.
Initially, I was pretty angry about everything shutting down, and I was like, I feel like that's the opposite of what we should be doing. But I also understand it. I understand it for safety measures.
Others call it ridiculous.
Oh, they took my bicycle lock away from me. Get out of here. I mean, that's ridiculous. Never searched me. I could have a gun in my pocket, but they're worried about my bicycle lock.
And in comparison to last year,
I mean, it seems like overkill to me personally, like the police presence. I think they're compensating for, kind of not doing anything last year.
They were just standing there in their riot gear, but didn't do a thing. And now this year, I think they've gone the other way. It's just hard just to be citizens.
Now, although there are only 2 ways that you can actually get onto the mall, you can pretty much leave from any exit point. And if you do bring a bag, you must consent to a search because unsearched bags will not be allowed within the restricted area.
Victoria Reslow live for us tonight. Thank you, Victoria.
Several businesses inside the secure zone say the community is stepping up and stepping out in a show of support. If the open sign is out, customers are buying. NBC29 Sharon Gregory is on Charlottesville's downtown mall tonight with that story. Hi, Sharon.
Casey, people are enjoying a pleasant, albeit rather warm, summer night on Charlottesville's downtown mall. And normally that really wouldn't make news. But with the heavy police presence and the occasional sound of a chopper spinning overhead, for the businesses that decided to stay open this evening, it is a welcome relief.
We're excited. We've seen a great response from the community.
Will Curley manages Brasserie Saison. His lunch crowd this day may be different than a usual summer Saturday, but it's steady.
There's a lot less tourists, but what we are seeing is such a robust community presence here. Everybody that lives in this area, everybody that works in this area is coming down to support local businesses.
Local businesses surrounded by a heavy police presence to make sure business can go on as usual.
We live in Charlottesville. We're the bagel ladies.
Cynthia Viejo and her wife are normally serving bagels at the weekend city market, but it is one venue shut down this year as a precaution. So they're displaying their support as customers.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. And so we were there last year, and it was scary. We had to break down at 10:30, as you well know. Last year was a really scary time. So we're back here again.
Well, we've been really busy since I've opened the doors this morning.
Kim Malone manages a staple on the downtown mall. Chaps is the spot to cool off on a warm summer day, and Malone says the police presence might add up to a profitable weekend.
It's unbelievable. I think people are actually coming out down here. They feel safer. And like I said, we've been nonstop. I think it's going to go on into the night. We are not going to close until 11 o'clock tonight. And I believe we'll still have a line out that door tonight for shakes and ice cream.
So if you are sitting home watching us right now and you're thinking, maybe I'd like to go to the downtown mall, the businesses sure would appreciate it. You will find a few closed signs, but several shops, several restaurants are open, as you just heard, some till 11 o'clock tonight. So yes, Charlottesville is open for business, and these businesses would certainly appreciate it if you came out and supported them. Casey?
All right, great to hear. Sharon Gregory live for us tonight. Thank you, Sharon. Well, some city market vendors still had a good turnout today, even though it was not in its usual spot. Not as many vendors were at Ix Art Park as there are normally at the downtown market, but many people were out enjoying themselves, eating and shopping. Some people told us they like the location because it's less crowded and better looking with all the art around. An Ix co-founder says it was important to have the market this weekend.
And when we learned that the city market was going to be closed for this weekend, a bunch of the vendors came to us and said, this is our livelihood, and we can't grow vegetables, pick them off the vine, and then let them rot. And so it was really important to us to try and create a sense of normalcy this weekend, to be the Charlottesville that everybody knows that we are.
The city market will be back at its regular location in downtown Charlottesville next weekend.
Tonight, University of Virginia Students United plans to rally for justice near the Jefferson statue outside the rotunda. And that has prompted additional road closures effective now until 10 p.m. Portions of University Avenue and Rugby Road are closed. Detours are in place. You can get the complete closure details at NBC29.com. Members of the University of Virginia and Charlottesville communities gathered this morning to reflect on last year's violent demonstrations on the lawn and discuss how to move forward together. NBC29's Caroline Colburn has that story.
Calming music, poetic reflections.
I watch millions marching like it's 1963.
And words of encouragement.
It's important that we're here together.
Flooded Old Cabell Hall Saturday as UVA students and community members gathered for a morning of healing.
We are 1 year away from events that brought hurt and harm to our community.
During the Hope That Summons Us event, UVA President James Ryan acknowledged the university did not respond to last year's white supremacist march across grounds as well as it should have.
We must admit to mistakes, including those made last year. We do nothing more than recognize our common humanity. To say to those who were attacked around the statue last year, I am sorry. We are sorry.
Inside Old Cabell Hall, a sense of unity.
I wasn't able to be here last year, so for me it was also just an issue of coming and showing support in a way that I couldn't before.
But just outside, barricades and security restricted public access to the lawn.
I know a lot of students are very concerned about just the over-policing. You know, there's such a heavy police presence here right now.
Despite concerns about heightened security and last year's mistakes, President Ryan says UVA will continue to be committed to living the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I believe that in the face of tragedy, having endured some myself, that we can still find the strength to move forward, that we must. We are in this together.
A long time coming, but I know
in Charlottesville,
a change gonna come.
Caroline Colburn, NBC29 News.
People of all beliefs gathered at First Presbyterian Church today for a community service and an afternoon of faith and healing. NBC29's Annie Schroeder spoke with religious leaders about the importance of today's service. Hi, Annie.
Casey, hundreds of people came out to the service for repair held by Congregate Charlottesville today to remember the violent events that took place in Charlottesville 1 year ago. The service was led by 6 women of color who led people in song and read poetry. Following the introductory service, attendees split into different groups to take part in workshops that focused on issues like nonviolence and the Heal Charlottesville Fund. Organizers say they hope the service was an opportunity for community healing.
We really want to create a space, particularly for those people who have sacrificed so much for the sake of justice in this past year. We want to honor those who have been harmed. We want to celebrate the ways that we have resisted white supremacy.
Congregate Charlottesville says they held the workshop in hopes of preparing people of faith to continue to show up for matters of justice. Now, several faith-related events will be taking place in Charlottesville tomorrow, including a service held by Reverend Al Sharpton at Mount Zion First Baptist Church. That starts at 9:30, and a prayer walk held by the Charlottesville Prayer Coalition, which starts at 2 p.m. on the UVA Rotunda. Live in the Charlottesville newsroom, Annie Schroeder, NBC29 News at 6.
Thank you, Annie. President Donald Trump has followed up last year's both sides comment about the rallies with a tweet today about peace.
Plus, officers find a gun near the scene of a shooting last night in Charlottesville. That's after your forecast.
Well, most of the showers and storms have been north and west of Charlottesville today. That will change tomorrow. I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast next. Well, just a few sprinkles in Charlottesville today, but that was a different story in the valley. Good evening to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Fitzpatrick. Here's a time lapse from the Stanton area showing building clouds and a couple of downpours. Middle part of the afternoon, almost 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Likewise at JMU and Harrisonburg, in and out of a couple of downpours. Now we have a mostly cloudy sky. Temperatures are rain cooled in the 70s in the valley, but where it's been drier longer in the low to mid 80s in Charlottesville to Louisa, Palmyra, over into Standardsville. NBC29's exclusive dual pole triple Doppler radar is showing not much activity for central Virginia. We're seeing the showers dissipate as they cross over the Blue Ridge Mountains, and a break right now in the rainfall over the Stanton area, but north and west of Harrisonburg, a little downpour passing by, and the downpours have dissipated in Madison, where there was a flood warning that has been allowed to expire early in Madison County. And to the south, Palmyra, Lake Monticello to the Dillon area drying out right now. And there's some more showers west of Livingston in Nelson County. But we're in between two systems. There's one over us, really, over the Commonwealth and over into areas of the Shenandoah Valley. And there's another one over the Ohio River Valley. That's going to give us another risk for shower and storm on a more widespread scale for your Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. And there's a level 1 threat for severe weather. So that's the lowest level. That's a marginal chance. So what does that mean? Well, a couple of storms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening may produce some damaging wind and also some localized flash flooding. Can't be ruled out because these storms will be slow movers. Futurecast shows just a spotty risk for downpour this evening. They fade away after sunset, and then tomorrow morning's quiet, and then tomorrow afternoon, here we go, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, a better risk of showers and storms this go around for central Virginia, and then they fade away at night and then redevelop Monday afternoon into Monday evening. So a break in the weather as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Another front looks to arrive by the end of next week with another round of showers and downpours around here. So tonight's forecast, any spotty thunder shower will fade away overnight, some patchy fog, lows very warm, 60s and lower 70s by daybreak. And for tomorrow, upper 70s in the valley, low to mid 80s for central Virginia with a better risk for a scattered shower and thunderstorm. Your Michael and Son 70 forecast shows us lows in the 60s. One more day, Monday, with a shower and storm threat, and then drying out and heating back up to the 80s and low 90s by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and another system by next Friday and perhaps a week from now.
President Donald Trump weighed in today on the rally anniversary weekend on Twitter, causing quite the stir. He wrote, quote, "The riots in Charlottesville a year ago resulted in senseless death and division. We must come together as a nation. I condemn all types of racism and acts of violence. Peace to all Americans."
Charlottesville police are looking for a gunman after a shooting last night. A report of gunshots came in around 11:19. Officers found a teenager bleeding from his upper body at the intersection of Concord Avenue and Albemarle Street. He was taken to UVA Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. Officers found a gun near the scene this morning. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 434-977-4000.
UVA football has a friendly little trash talking competition between a couple of its key players.
Gotta love that. Plus, the Jefferson Cup tournament at Birdwood Golf Course is in its second round. We have highlights. Sports is next.
It's day 2 of the 17th annual Jefferson Cup Golf Tournament. Dustin Groves held a 3-shot lead heading into the second round after firing a 4-under par 68 on the first day. The Monticello High School alum played college golf at Wake Forest, graduating in 2008. Riley Earhart is a rising senior at Maryland who started the day tied for second at 1 under. On the par 5 second hole, Earhart is in the fairway after a big drive. He will find the green with his second shot. Earhart misses his eagle putt long, but makes the putt coming back the other way for a 2-putt birdie. He shot a 2-under par 70 for the round. On the par 5 fifth, Groves is in the bunker with his second shot, still looking for his first birdie of the day. The leader does better than that as he chips in for eagle. Groves moves to 6 under for the round. On the par 4 eighth, Groves has an 8-foot putt to save par, and he knocks it in. Dustin Groves shot a 2-under par 70 for the day. Groves maintains his 3-stroke lead heading into the final round as he's at 6 under par for the tournament, with Earhart in second place. Zach Russell and Nick Little are tied for third at 2 under. Sam Young is in 5th place at 1 under par. The Virginia football team will play its first game of the season in just 3 weeks. The Cavaliers host Richmond on September 1st at Scott Stadium. Bryce Perkins is in his first season with the Hoos. The junior quarterback transferred to UVA from Arizona Western Community College after starting his career at Arizona State. Perkins is expected to be the centerpiece of Virginia's run-pass option offense this season. On the opposite side of the ball is safety Juan Thornhill. The senior broke up a team-high 12 passes last season, and he tied for the team lead with 4 interceptions. At practice this year, Thornhill is competing with Perkins to lead the team in another category. Trash talk.
He's very competitive, just like me, because I'm the type of guy that likes to talk trash, and I'll try to talk trash to him to get in his head, but he's that type of guy that he won't respond. And if you say something to him, he'll laugh and be ready to make a play on you. I'll just tell him he's a little scared to throw it to me, but I mean, I hope he throw it at me, but he don't. He's a little scared because he think I'm gonna pick him off.
Juan's a great player, man. I mean, I always, he talks, I talk right back. And if there's one person on the defense that I don't want to throw a pick to is Juan, because I know I'm gonna hear it in the locker room, I'm here at lunch, I'm here at dinner. So we compete with each other, and it makes me better, it makes him better, and it's just that friendly competition we have on the field.
Virginia and Richmond kick off the season on September 1st at 6 o'clock at Scott Stadium. It looks like they're having fun.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
We'll be right back.
More misses than hits on radar this evening. So just a stray thunder shower this evening, but then a better shot of showers and storms for tomorrow afternoon and also into tomorrow evening. Otherwise, warm and humid, highs in the 80s.
All right, Josh, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening.